Once Upon a Time doesn't get much better than this.
It's fairy tales. These are some of the weirdest, scariest, most exciting stories ever.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 greatest fairy tales ever.
It's her, the princess and the pea. Dear lady, can you tell me the secret of the pea?
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at the most influential and widely loved classic fairy tales. Though we'll be including folk tales, stories that began as relatively contemporary novels or theater productions won't be considered, no matter how popular they've since become. Translation: as much as we love Peter Pan and Pinocchio, they won't be seen here today.
Understand?
Number 10. The Ugly Duckling. We all go through an awkward phase growing up, which makes this tale something most can relate to. Written by Hans Christian Andersen, who was a bit of an ugly duckling himself, this fairy tale is the story of a young misfit who's mistreated by his peers for looking different. The bullying proves so taxing that the poor little outcast chooses to live away from them. After some time, however, he discovers that he doesn't just look different from the other ducks, he is different. He's a swan.
See, he's sad because he's all alone and nobody wants him. But on this page, his family hears him crying and they find him. Then the ugly duckling is happy because he knows where he belongs.
A timeless classic, it reminds us that there's a place for everyone in this world. Number 9. Rapunzel. While the titular character of this fairy tale may have some impressively long locks, her publication history is even longer. Thanks to its inclusion in their 1812 publication Children's and Household Tales, the story of Rapunzel was popularized by the Brothers Grimm.
The old enchantress had given the name Rapunzel to the child she had hidden away and locked in a doorless tower. But little did she know that the girl's lilting voice had caught the attention of a handsome prince.
But earlier versions of this story, credited to various writers, can be found dating all the way back to 1634. Despite its age, as Disney's 2010 adaptation Tangled proves, Rapunzel still has the power to enchant.
I'm not getting any younger down here. Coming, Mother.
It might be a traditional tale of love overcoming obstacles, but that unique twist, or rather braid, ensures that it stands out even centuries later. Number 8. Beauty and the Beast. It's been adapted for film countless times, and has served as the basis of more than one theater production, as well as a ballet. So you'd think that people would have grown tired of this property by now. But with the release of Disney's 2017 live-action remake, following its 1991 animated version, Beauty and the Beast proved that it has staying power. It's truly a timeless classic.
It's wonderful.
Yes, I suppose it is.
Though it is credited to Gabrielle Suzanne Barbeau de Villeneuve, whose version was published in 1740, researchers have found proto-versions of the fairy tale dating back 4,000 years. Talk about a tale as old as time.
Tale as old as time, true as it can be.
Number 7. Jack and the Beanstalk.
There's something moving.
Oh, yes. Well, maybe there is some magic in them. All right, now let's all keep quiet and see what happens.
Thought Beauty and the Beast was old? Well, researchers estimate that the roots of this tale of shopping gone wrong can be traced back 5,000 years. We all know the story of Jack and his magic beans, and the world of trouble they open up to him.
But they're magic beans.
That's what I think of your magic beans.
While fairy tales typically include surreal elements, Jack and the Beanstalk, or the story of Jack Spriggins and the Enchanted Bean as it was published in 1734, is a standout. because the magical aspects are just so fantastical.
And you scramble down and you look below, and the world you know begins to grow. The roof, the house, and your mother at the door.
Oversized vegetation, giants, a golden egg-laying goose, and an enchanted harp. What more could you ask for? Number 6. 1001 Nights. Also known as simply Arabian Nights, this epic tale brings together many folk stories and legends from various cultures across South Asia, Africa, and the Middle East.
The stories opened a portal into the fabled world of the Middle East 1,000 years earlier.
Its age and complex history leave us to guess as to exactly how it came together. Arabian Nights is the tale of Scheherazade, the new wife to a king who takes and kills a new bride each night, and the story she told him every evening to survive. From within this framing narrative, countless stories are told. A masterful tapestry of folk tales, it introduced many to Aladdin, Ali Baba, Sinbad, and other such famous characters.
Wait a minute. I'm your master?
That's right! He can be taught! What would you wish of me?
Number 5. Rumpelstiltskin.
He's devious, deceitful, he's
Rumpelstiltskin!
It's certainly a mouthful, but that's the fun of it. From a young age, children seem to be drawn to the absurd name of this impish little creature.
I know what you look like, but you're not.
Don't say it. I don't like the sound of it, you know.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Parents can appreciate the story because it teaches valuable lessons. Don't be greedy, and never make a deal or promise you can't keep. Of course, if you're presenting it to very young children, make sure to select one of the tamer versions. Depending on the variant you're reading, Rumpelstiltskin either leaves in anger, falls into a hole in the earth, or rips himself clean in two. Whatever edition you select, it's sure to make for a memorable experience. Number 4. Snow White. Today, thanks to Disney, most people think of it as Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. But originally this German fairy tale was simply titled Snow White, after its fair-skinned princess.
Lips red as the rose, hair black as ebony, skin white as snow.
Snow White.
In fact, the original dwarves didn't even have names until a century after its first publication. First given during a Broadway play, and then with Disney in 1937. There's no denying that these changes played a crucial role in solidifying its enduring popularity. But the animation studio never would have had a movie to make, were it not for the Brothers Grimm, who published the first written version of the tale as part of their 1812 collection.
It was very easy. Anyone could see that the prince was charming.
Number 3. Hansel and Gretel.
You can have my half. I'm stuffed.
It's not for eating, silly. It's for marking a trail so we can get back home.
It's a little dark, and a whole lot grim. More so than perhaps any other tale on our list today, Hansel and Gretel has moral lessons that feel remarkably relevant in today's society. First and foremost, it's the perfect cautionary tale about stranger danger. Nothing's gonna keep your kids away from people they don't know, quite like the fear of being eaten. Secondly, in this age of childhood obesity, it teaches a strong lesson about overeating and nutrition.
No matter what you do, no matter how you're tempted, don't eat anything.
But most importantly, it's a fun, sinister tale, with the sort of plucky, industrious child characters that kids love to hear about. Number 2. Little Red Riding Hood.
Whoa. What big hands you have. And what big ears you have. What bad breath you have. What big eyes you have.
We just kind of sit around here, talk about how big I'm getting.
Yes. So then the fellow with the axe burst in.
Taking stranger danger to the next level, this iconic fairy tale reminds kids that they always need to trust their instincts. Riding Hood and her red cape are iconic in their own right. But credit where credit is due, the wolf is what really makes this story such a thrilling one.
Goodbye, Mr. Wolf.
Goodbye, little girl. And hello.
His conniving, deceitful ways, and success in gobbling up not only the grandmother but our titular character as well, makes him one of the most formidable and memorable villains in fairy tale history. And he would have gotten away with it too, if it hadn't been for that meddling hunter.
Don't worry, little girl. It is I, Buster the Woodcutter. I'll have your grandma out of him in a jiffy.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a couple of honorable mentions.
Before the sun sets on her 16th birthday, she shall prick her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and die.
So what now? I reckon you want a kiss?
Kissing would be nice, yes?
Ariel's been turned into a human. She's gotta make the prince fall in love with her, and he's gotta kiss her.
And she's only got 3 days.
Number 1. Cinderella. Few fairy tale princesses are as iconic or popular as Cinderella.
Goodbye.
No, wait. Come back. Oh, please come back.
Though the versions from Charles Perrault in 1697 and the Brothers Grimm in 1812 are the best known, her story in its various forms can be traced back to ancient Greece, 9th century China, and countless other cultures. It's not surprising that this folktale has proved so transcendent and enduring. It's the ultimate tale of rags to riches, of love that overcomes, and of fantasy come to life. Cinderella is kind, brave, selfless, and willing to dream big, which is why hers is a story that will continue to enchant one generation after another.
I do not even know if that beautiful slipper will fit, but if it does, will you take me as I am?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.